Hello and welcome to the Bottom Up Skills Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Parsons. I'm the CEO of Qualitance, and we have a brand new series here for you today. We're going to do a big deep dive into the world of Zoom video. That's right, we're going to decode their product, their business. We're going to look at it from upside down, from left to right, you name it. We're going to look at it because these guys are on fire. They are doing so very well. So we want to break it down and look at some of the practical learnings for us as builders, creators, designers, entrepreneurs who are trying to build a better future. And you know what? Zoom is doing a lot of things right, and there is a lot to learn. Are they as hot as, say, Revolut, our last case study? Who knows? But there's going to be a ton to learn. We're going to have the classic 4 Ps, people, product, profit, and promotion. We're going to break it all down and see what we can learn to build great products too. So stay tuned. This is the Bottom Up Podcast. Okay, so we're going to start with the product, the first and most important of all the Ps. And when we think about Zoom and we think about its product, I've got lots of things that come to mind, but I've kind of compressed it into 3 big ideas. Now, the first one, it's going to sound a little self-evident, but the fact is here, the first idea about why is this product so good is because they're video first. Now, this becomes particularly important when you think about it in context to its competitors. Zoom is built, designed, managed to be a video first product. It is not an old audio product that has had video put on top of it. It is born a video product from day one. So what this means is everything is about delivering the very best video when you're in a conference call, or whether you're in something a lot bigger as a webinar. So what I did is I hunted around and researched, and I found a few tests that really reflected my own experience as well. And that is this: particularly Skype and even more so Google Hangouts, I find that I'm often presented with really poor video quality, and especially when there's more than 2 of us on the call. And what I've actually been able to do is I found a video where a group of people actually did the same meeting at the same time in different platforms, so we can see the difference. And the big thing that this calls out is the pixelation of Google Hangouts. Now, when you compare that same meeting now done in Zoom, all of a sudden you see that the picture quality, the little refinement on the pixels is much, much better. So I want to point out this is just like a small thing, like the video, I guess, on Google Hangouts is, I don't know, good enough-ish. It's okay. But what happens with a company like Zoom, they do lots and lots of things that are better. And it's, if one is a little bit better and then the second one's a little bit better, all of a sudden, if you zoom out, you get this aggregate experience of all round the product is just better on so many fronts. So if you look at the difference between the same meeting done in Hangouts versus Zoom, what you're going to see is just a better video quality. And this just adds up over time. There's a few things that Zoom can improve, but for the most part, they're doing so many things just that bit better than everybody else. When you actually step back, it's really a significant difference. Now, if you introduce a large-scale video conferencing event, so we're talking 30, 40, 50 plus people, Zoom stands alone. All the others you're going to experience, first of all, limitations on actually putting that many people in. And if you can, the video is really compromised. And we're going to talk about that in some of the technical pieces of this case study, because there's actually some really straightforward technical reasons why other products are really inferior when we look at scale. So Zoom one-on-one, it's good. Zoom at scale with lots and lots of people is absolutely great, market leader. And that's really this first big thought, that they are video first. Okay, second number thought. Now, what you have to remember, this is all a bunch of firsts actually for the product. The other thing that they're really first with is they are cloud first. So they are not tied down to legacy technologies that are not designed and built for the cloud. Classic example is Skype. In order to deliver its video and some of its other features, it's actually got a SharePoint architecture. And if any of you are old as I am, you'll remember that SharePoint is certainly not a cloud-first technology. This creates all sorts of limitations in terms of scale and so forth. So what's really interesting is if you look at being a cloud-based application, what's so uniquely strong about the cloud and the way it performs is it helps you scale. And what I've been able to do is just break down what Skype are doing in their application architecture that helps them scale so very much. And remember, December, 10 million sessions a day. April, over 200 million, and the thing didn't fall over. So this is worth really, really learning from. Number one, they just have a better network. What they actually do is they use a distributed network, and this is not unsimilar to how Netflix delivers great quality. Netflix puts these media appliances in at the ISP close to the delivery point, so it's distributed. In the same way, Zoom has over 13 data centers, and each of them are trying to work really hard to distribute the workload. So there's not like, to use a traffic analogy, you don't have a one highway which is trying to deal with all the traffic. It's distributed across a network. The next thing is that they use this thing called multimedia routing, and this helps them deliver more than one stream at a time. Now, this feature directly goes back to the first thought, how they do like these really high volume, high attendee calls. It's this feature. So what happens is this multimedia routing enables not just one, but several video streams between people to be used, distributed concurrently. So what does that mean? It means you can have lots of people on a call, and the call quality, the video quality is good. Now, when we think about particularly the last mile, the third thing that they do is they use this multi-bit rating coding. So what happens is if it's really congested in your local network, maybe at home or by the office, they'll drop the bit rate or the file size that they're trying to deliver of all the audio and video, so that there's less load on the network. It has a better chance of getting through. So they're adapting even at that last mile moment. And what that means is it's just more consistent as an experience for us, the happy users. And the last thing that they do is they have an application layer that manages their quality of service. Effectively, you can imagine almost oversees the three other points that I mentioned, the network, the multimedia routing, the multi-bit rating coding. It looks at all of those things and manages them overall to ensure that they're really delivering an experience that we not only expect, but I think that we love. Frictionless, as they would say. So the last point here, so we're still in product. We've got the fact that they're cloud first. We've got the fact that they're video first. Here's the other first. They're customer first in a big way. And these guys, they have customer satisfaction off the charts. It's quite remarkable. Compared to all of their competitors, they have ridiculous reviews. You can see that they have 95% recommendation rate. There are a few products in this world that can consistently hold that sort of recommendation rate. And what a great thing for your business, the fact that people love your product so much that they're willing to recommend it to others. Now, the other interesting side note here is if you want to talk about recommendation rates, the only thing that's better than this is the recommendation rate of their employees, because they're so damn happy in the company that they'll recommend it to family and friends as well. But we'll talk more about that later in this series. So, a quick recap on this product. Crazy that in this world of ecosystems and stacks and multi-product feature sets and all of this good stuff, they made a very simple and intuitive decision: video first. And they've got such an incredible focus on that. You'll see when we get to talk about profit, what that delivers on the bottom line. It's pretty special. So they're video first. They're cloud first, so scaling up to that 300-400 million, no problem. And lastly, they're customer first. So they're always searching to deliver and to exceed customer expectations. And frankly, customers are raving about it. So there you have it. That is the product. That is the first of the 4 Ps for Zoom. I think it's time that we jump in to the next part of this wonderful story of Zoom video communications. So there you have it. That's a wrap for this episode of the Bottom Up Skills podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. And remember, if you want to go deeper on anything you've heard on the show today or any of the past shows, just head over to bottomup.io. You're going to find all sorts of goodies there. Free video courses, masterclasses. Get in there. There's lots to learn. We want to share how to build great products. So thanks once again for joining us on the Bottom Up Skills podcast.